Okay, so we went through the syllabus. You know about the Trello board, you know about Dropbox, you know about doing the journaling with one good or bad example per week. So by next meeting, everybody should have 2 of them. We know about the projects and the scope of the projects, and again, that will all be, we'll talk a lot more later on. I said a couple of examples that are good to see kind of the scope of the projects are the the crime in LA. This is one of the early concepts from the same group. Again, now you can start seeing kind of like the rows diagram, the position. Those kind of things, all the data encoding channels should start kind of becoming a little kind of like second nature to you. And usually for the first 8 weeks, we'll start, that's the first thing we'll do at the beginning of every class, is ask everybody, okay, what are the encoding channels? Let's just write them down. And then when you show us examples, we'll go through them. Okay, what encoding channels are they using successfully or not successfully in each of these sample visualizations? Another project that is actually kind of neat is this We Feel Fine. And it's kind of an old project, so hopefully it works. I'll try to get started. We Feel Fine, We Feel Fine. Oh, it was because you have to do it in Firefox. No, I think that's it. Let me try it one more time.
Welcome to data visualization and business intelligence. On the introduction, we'll actually run off, look across.
So We Feel Fine is this portal. It's at wefeelfine.oracle.com. One of them. It does require Java, so on Macs it's a little bit of a pain. But basically what they did is they went through a whole set of blogs. You guys even know what blogs are anymore? You know what blogs are? So blogs was kind of like the Facebook of 10, 15 years ago. Blogs, so basically you do a website and you start putting just entries of what you feel like and what you like. But what they did is they went through a whole set of blogs, and they started looking for specific words that gave a sense of how people were feeling at any point in time. So from that, they were actually able to extract feelings, saying this person felt happy during this date, they felt sad during that date. And they basically, they just created this visualization where they threw all these individuals as color dots, and then you get to interact with the color dots. So you can either have, you can even look at specific moods, and it shows you either the data as a cloud that's flying around, or it actually gives you the entry of each of those lines as it goes. And it can actually show you kind of a little screenshot of the actual blog. Another thing you can do is you can actually you can actually have your mouse be a repellent or an attractor of certain moods. So if you say we feel happy, then if you move around, then all the happy feelings start coming towards you, all the happy blog entries. And the same thing, you can move around. And then, of course, you can at any point you can actually tell it to give summaries, and that gives you all sorts of interesting plots. So the level of basic interaction with the original plot was quite interesting because it was very much a touchy-feely look at things, but then you could actually dive into these other ways of representing the data or calling out and thresholding the data, saying, okay, show it to me by gender, show it to me by different mood feelings. I think another good example is this Nike Plus visualization. That's when the original Nike Plus shoe came out, I think. So, it was a shoe that you could actually tie to one of iPhone 2 or something. And they figured out they could actually record the GPS location to actually see how fast you were going. That was before the Nike band and Nike watch and all this stuff. And one of the coolest things is that they originally thought they would actually need to, for instance, to map the actual cityscape, but I realized that because people are basically running through the sidewalks, then just if you start just visualizing the data, it just starts creating all these visual trajectories even without having to overlay the city map, which you can see kind of here in grayscale. Just the information actually gets shown in a very cool fashion. That was also true of one of the projects that we did with city and bicycles. You can see the path of the bicycles, and it was quite neat. So this is the Nike runs. So the keeping track of each of these run paths, that's just fun. Notice that what are we seeing? We're seeing position, we're seeing time, we're seeing distance of run. What other variables can we aggregate to this? Speed. Most people are exercising nowadays. If you had an Apple Watch, you could keep track of what? Heart rate. You could keep heart rate. So now imagine looking at those paths and actually seeing the heart rate as you go along, the number of calories burned. There's all sorts of fun, cool things you can do. And then once you're done with it, seeing the averages and the accumulation of it. So that is all. That's all just really good beginning for visualization projects as well. We saw the Kepler example already, and again that's it's a very simple processing program. I'll put it on the Dropbox this afternoon. This is other project which is called Gapminder, and they were really interested in showing the discrepancy between income and education and diseases and GDP, all those interesting things. So they started creating these interactive plots from all this UN data, and they really got a lot of attention for it. So what was originally just a video and a link, then eventually became a fully working website. You can still go to gapminder.com, I think. So this is Gapminder right here. So for instance, here we're looking at income versus life expectancy. So these are different countries. They're colored here by region, right? So Asia, Africa, Europe. So here you see, for this, so this is the country with the highest income and highest life expectancy. What do you expect that to be? Any guesses? What's the country with highest income and highest life expectancy?
Kind of like Sweden, green ones.
It's orange. It's red, right here.
Oh.
I guess it's Singapore. That's what I think. This is for 2018. Yes, Japan is up here. It's high. The highest European country is Switzerland. Spain's that high?
What's the bottom one?
So that is probably Central African Republic. Somalia. Notice that they have twice the income and still just as little.
What was the size of the circle again, the population?
Size of circle is population, see right here. We can change. We can do that. Education. Literacy. So that's versus literacy rate. So the cool thing about it is that you can actually press play, and it goes to starts in 1980 something. Yes. Oops. Should go back to population. So let's go back. So the interactive part of it is quite cool. So where are we? 18. Holy cow! I have no idea where I have no idea that far back.
Like, how can they get all that data or that information? It's just like,
They've just been collecting it, and the UN has been collecting it.
oh, the UN. Okay.
Yeah. There's all sorts of sources that we collect. But this company is literally making money out of this, with this non-profit. So what's this country that's spinning off right here? Brunei?
No. They're all gone for a second.
Yeah, there's local data dumps. So that's Gapminder. Play with it. It's really fun to look at it. If you look for it, there's one of the original TED Talks was done by the Gapminder guy, and it was really revolutionary when it came out. So it's quite cool. We need to start wrapping up. So we didn't cover Tableau or Google Sheets, which is probably better because we'll do it next time when the whole class is here. So for next week, here's your homework. Create a new top 10, and then there'll be a PDF on the Dropbox folder, and probably in Trello as well. And then think of 3 different users and go ahead and sketch out a solution that you think is good for that user, right? So top 10, then say, okay, top grossing movies. One is a critic, one is a studio exec, the other one is a 14-year-old child that's trying to convince their parents to go watch movies. So each of these, what do they care about the visualization? How would you make it different? So you use that top 10, come up with 3 different sketches. Hand sketches are fine, but they should be hand sketches. And then out of those, find one of them and refine it. And that means actually you don't go ahead and clean up the version. You can still do a very pretty hand version, or if you want to go into Illustrator or Photoshop. If you want to try using a tool like Tableau or something that you know already to help you out, you're welcome to do that. But we're not there yet. Okay? So just like today's exercise, 3 personas, 1 top 10 list with interesting variables, and then do 3 sketches and then refine them. Does that make sense? Yeah? And let's do it next Monday. So books that are interesting. Maggie loves the Bill Ferster interactive visualization. I actually like the Stephen Few information dashboard design. For this for abstract data, that's actually really strong. The Ben Fry book on visualizing data kind of covers all the bases. And if you don't know who Ben Fry is, he's the guy who actually started processing, basically created processing for the sake. And then there's the whole slew of Edward Tufte books, and there's a bunch more.